Hello students, welcome to Love for Reasoning. Today we are going to discuss a topic name called courses of action. Now this is another topic in your critical reasoning. What do you see in this topic? In what way the questions are going to be formed? In the course of action, you actually see a problem, a general problem, a day-to-day problem we are actually facing, and as well as a policy of government. Now you need to act as a administrative person and take a decision which is actually a follow-up action. What do you mean by a follow-up action? What is the next step? See, for an example, tell me if some accident occurred in front of you. Somebody met with an accident. What are your instincts? What is your next step, immediate step? What is it that you are going to call an ambulance? That is what you need to do here. As soon as you see a problem in a statement, what is the next step you are going to do? That is called a follow-up action, or you can also say it as what? Your immediate action. What is the immediate decision you are going to take? And please do remember, all the general problems are going to be occurring in the question. You need to understand and pick your answers from the given options. You cannot just pick your answer whatever that comes up into your mind, and sometimes that information, whatever information you have got in your mind, if it is not present on your options, then also you are going to go wrong. And so please do not decide your answer without observing your course of action. That is what I want to tell you very clearly. You need to observe to the options properly, then you decide which one is the better solution in the given options. So the administrative decision is actually to do what? For the betterment of the problem. You can only give the better solution, and solution cannot be go beyond the limits. You are supposed to stay in the limit, or I have to tell you, you are supposed to stay in a boundary of 8 conditions. Please, and try to pick your answer. If at all any answer is not going to be there in that boundary of 8 conditions, it cannot be considered as what? A proper course of action. And do remember very clearly, all the preventive measures, okay, are going to be considered as what? A proper course of action. Am I clear with this information? And when it comes to the government policies, it doesn't mean you should know about that government policy. No, sometimes he may also give you a random government policy which is not actually in the motion. But do remember, when you are looking through the policy of government, you should not criticize the government, and you should come up with a solution which actually helps you, the government, and as well as which actually helps the people over there, to glorify the government. Or you have to be that person who actually gives the attachment in between the government and as well as people. That is the way you need to work over here. Never try to criticize government. You should always remember that you are a person. Administrative decision actually helps the lives of betterment of people. You can only suggest this is the way you are supposed to do. This is the best course of action we can come up. This is what you need to do when the problem is occurring. This way you can suggest the government. Along with preventive measure, you can also say awareness. Creating awareness is also going to be called as a proper course of action. If your solution is creating awareness to the people or to the government, that can be easily considered as your course of action. Now please remember this information. We are going to see those 8 conditions along with a small example, and we are going to have the discussion what are the proper course of action you need to consider as your answer, and what is not going to be your answer. We are going to discuss it thoroughly. Let's observe the first condition. The condition is given here as what? Should be relevant. What do you mean by should be relevant? Relevant is nothing but related. Relevant is nothing but what? Related. Now please do remember, whatever course of action you are actually suggesting, it should be related to your given statement. If it is not related to your statement, it cannot be considered as a proper course of action. Now a statement is given over here, regular traffic jams are occurring due to illegal parking. Regular traffic jams are occurring due to illegal parking. Now this illegal parking or traffic jam, this is a general problem everybody is facing nowadays. So what causing this? You can easily see a problem over here. What is a problem? It is illegal parking. Because of this illegal parking, what do you mean by illegal parking? Any vehicle which is actually placed at a no parking zone, even though it is your two-wheeler, four-wheeler, or any other vendor who is selling whatever goods he has got or she has got, that's also going to be considered as what? Illegal parking. Don't tell me it is their livelihood, they can place it over here. No, because they are causing a problem. What is the problem they're causing? Traffic jam. So in order to overcome with this problem, what exactly you do? You are actually going to come up with a proper course of action, and the best course of action always is imposing fines. If you impose the fines, people are going to realize very soon this particular place is not a appropriate place to park your vehicle. They may go to another place, or you provide them a free parking zones. Free parking zones are very famous nowadays. If you show people a free parking zones, they are going to park their vehicles and avoid such problems or causing problems such as traffic jams. And as well as you counsel the people who are actually placing their vendors, especially vendors, you can just counsel them or show them some alternative area where they can actually sell their goods, or you can provide one particular day. You can see a market, yes, that's also a solution. You cannot sell each and every day, but they are actually created one particular day, dedicated day. Yes, these are all course of action you can suggest so that you can bring the betterment in order to avoid the problem. So what is a course of action you are not going to consider? Widen the roads. By now, widening the roads, is it going to really clear the problem? Is it really related to your given statement, or you are taking a decision to construct another road or widen the road, extension of road you are suggesting? So what happens? This extension of road is actually going to create another traffic problem. It is not going to solve my problem, because people who actually got one stall, they are going to buy another stall and going to keep on that particular road. Am I correct? They're not going to realize it is not the place to park your vehicle. So please do understand, the solution should be related to your problem, but whereas here it is not at all related to your problem. In fact, it is not a proper course of action. So this is not my answer. Am I clear? Observe the next one. Should solve or mitigate the problem. What do you mean by mitigate? Mitigate is nothing but reduce. See, when you are seeing a problem in a statement, if it is really possible for you to solve it, yes, you can give me the answer to solve the given statement or the problem, whatever policy or problem in the statement. Sometimes it is not possible for you to give a proper answer, or you cannot just come up with a proper solution. 100% solution cannot be used. So you can mitigate the problem, or you can just reduce the problem. Those answers also can be considered as a proper course of action in case you don't see that 100% solution in the options. 50% solution is also going to be considered as your answer. So let us observe a statement. Large scale of deforestation is leading to global warming. So please understand, I hope you know what is global warming. Yes, global warming is actually our atmosphere and our earth is going to become very humid, and ice is melting in the Antarctica. These are all global warming condition. I hope you know that very well. I don't have to teach you what do you mean by global warming. Now, why exactly this global warming is occurring? Large scale of deforestation. What do you mean by deforestation? Cutting down of all the forest area. In fact, all the states should have some percent, maybe 25% of area, the land area should be covered. In all the states should be covered by 25% should be covered by forest area. But do you think really we have 25% of land by forest area? No. That is why deforestation is occurring, so that only we are having a lot of floods or drought. that is the reason, and it is causing what? Eventually it is causing us what? Global warming. Eventually it is causing us what? Global warming. So large scale of deforestation is leading to global warming. See, for an example, what is a better solution? What is a follow-up solution? What is the immediate solution you are actually going to give me? I am going to say afforestation, planting a tree. You can suggest your newborns, you can suggest all the childrens to plant a tree. That is the way you need to teach the next generation. Or not only planting a tree, you should also protect the tree. That is the way you are going to say it to your future generations. Afforestation is the best one, correct? You try to teach the next generation as well what exactly are the benefits of planting a tree and protecting a tree. These are going to help out to sort out the problems of global warming. Am I clear? But what is not a proper course of action? Let's observe here. Use pencil to write instead of pen. So pencil is going to have a lead, and pencil is actually made of what? A tree. And again you are indirectly suggesting deforestation. So now tell me, the course of action here, it is suggested whether it is solving my problem? No. Whether it is mitigating my problem? No. It is, in fact, it is creating me a problem. So do not consider these kind of solutions, because it is neither solving nor mitigating the problem. Hence it cannot be considered as what? Course of action. Whatever course of action you are suggesting, it should give the result in reasonable amount of time. Your course of action cannot be considered a long period, or you cannot mark your answer which actually suggests us a lot of time period or time gap is actually occurring, because our answers should be immediate or follow-up action. So if in case they are not immediate or follow-up actions are not occurring, then you cannot consider it as a proper course of action. Now let us see an example so that you can understand it better. Now the statement says, I am suffering from severe headache. Now somebody is saying you, I am suffering from severe headache. Please do remember the keyword. It is clearly saying they are suffering from headache severely. So what is the course of action you are going to come? If somebody says you they are suffering from severe headache, you actually suggest them to take rest. Am I correct? That is a proper course of action. Or you also say them to consult a doctor and consider the medication. Don't become a doctor and don't try to tell them what medication they have to take, because obviously you're not doctors. You ask them to go to the doctor so that they can find out what exactly the problem they are causing. So, or you can say them your home remedies. For an example, some people might say, ask them to have a cup of tea or coffee. That is your mental relaxation. Even though it's not scientifically proved, you ask people to take or have some cup of tea or coffee in order to reduce your stress levels down, and you can get the relief from the headache. These are the solutions you are going to come up with when somebody is saying you they are suffering from severe headache. But what is a course of action you are not going to consider? Let us observe here. Collect medicine from the clinic day after tomorrow. Now tell me, this particular course of action is giving us result in a reasonable amount of time? No. So initially it is saying you collect medicine, but from the clinic day after tomorrow. When the person is suffering from headache right now, and that too severely, you cannot just ask him to wait 2 days or 3 days and ask him to complete or come at day after tomorrow. That is completely inappropriate, and moreover that is not an immediate and follow-up action, and which is not giving you result in reasonable amount of time. So that is why this is not going to be your answer. This, and the next one says should be practically implementable. So whatever course of action you are suggesting, it should be practically implementable. You cannot just give me your answers as a fluke answers, or you cannot suggest me a course of action a cinematic way which is not going to be clearly a no, a big no in your examination. So please make sure whatever suggestion, whatever decision you are taking in the courses of action, make sure it is a practically implementable solution, otherwise it cannot be considered as your answer. See, again I have got the same example. I am suffering from severe headache. Why did I consider the same example? This is a general problem, it occurs to anybody, so that only I am clearly taking the same example. You can understand the situation and as well as the conditions very quickly, so that I have considered this given statement so many times. Let us observe. I am suffering from severe headache. Again a keyword is mentioning severe. So you are suggesting a person very clearly there is a particular kind of soil. Okay, you are suggesting him a home remedy. Obviously some of your friends may also suggest their own view of solving the problems by using the home remedies as well. So one person is suggesting in this way, there is a particular kind of soil, make it into a paste with oil and put it on the forehead for 2 nights. Okay, so the person who is actually suffering from a severe headache, as soon as you say all this complete information, there is a soil and you just make it into a paste and put it on your forehead for 2 nights, obviously you are going to lose your head, or I mean your headache. Am I correct? So this is the way you are going to create some interesting fact to your friend. As soon as he or she listens to this information, they are going to have some curiosity and they are going to ask you, where is this soil? I can just take this soil, where exactly this soil can be found. So your answer states in this way. Observe here, the soil is available on the moon. Now, whether you ask your friend to go to moon and collect this oil and apply it on the forehead for 2 nights, is it really practically possible? When it is practically not possible to become your answer, even though it is very good, a few sentences are really going to be observed as a very perfect answers, but end of the day it is ruining our answer. It is clearly going in the wrong direction. So clearly this is not my answer, because very simple, it's practically not possible to go to the moon and collect this oil and keep it on the forehead, especially for your headache. It's going to be completely another headache. So that is why this course of action is clearly ruled out. So the next condition is should not lead to a new problem. See, already we are facing with a problem. Your course of action should not lead to a new problem. Earlier we have seen practically implementable. Obviously it is also causing a problem. In order to reduce our headache, you suggested something, you asked us to go to the moon. So what does that mean? I wanted to tell you, whatever course of action you are suggesting, whatever your solution, immediate or follow-up solution, actually it should not lead to a new problem. A statement says there are many thieves being caught, but there are no sufficient jails to imprison them. So what is the course of action you are going to come up? Obviously the course of action we are going to suggest is what? Transfer those people to the another jails in the another area, another district or another town, whatever it is. You cannot just ask them to shoot them down. Okay, please, it is clearly saying many thieves, they are not terrorists. A small thief, they have been caught in many huge in number, but there are no sufficient jails to imprison them. You just obviously casually you transfer those people to another jails. If at all you do not have enough sufficient jails, you cannot ask them to stay in your home, obviously, which is not going to be practically possible. Let's go to my home for 1 day, it's only couple of days. You cannot say these kind of answers. Am I correct? So make sure your answer should not lead to a new problem, but your course of action should be you can give them alternative life. For an example, if you encourage a thief to work in petrol pumps, to work in any hotel, obviously a day-to-day wages are going to come and his life may go back to the normal life. He may no longer be a thief. That is a proper solution you can actually come up with, and that solution is available in your course of action. You need to check it out. So here what is it saying? Make theft legal. That is a course of action they are suggesting. Now tell me, making theft legal is actually going to lead a new problem. The better solution is transfer those people to areas. Correct? That is the way you have to come up with the solution. But what is the course of action it is suggesting here? Make theft legal. Okay, let us do it. As soon as you make theft illegal, what happens? chaos is going to happen. It leads to a new problem, law and order problem, and people are going to go into jewelry shops or some other mobile shops. So I know some of you are thinking some other shops, I know it very well. So please don't come up with those kind of answers. You cannot just say make theft illegal, which is not going to be appropriate answer. So the next condition is a very important condition. Throughout your critical reasoning, this condition is going to be there, and remember this condition. What is the condition saying? Should not be a negative suggestion. You cannot just give you any negative suggestions for your solution. You need to take a decision which actually creates a better solutions from the problem. It doesn't mean you can give any negative solution. That is completely wrong. Never take any negative answers as your course of action in the every area of critical reasoning. Statement states, despite working hard, I am unable to get more better marks than Ramesh. So a person is clearly saying despite working hard, okay, that person worked very hard. It doesn't mean he does not work or she does not work hard. Yes, that person worked very hard. Despite working hard, I am unable to get more better marks than Ramesh. So Ramesh might got a very good marks than our speaker. Now our speaker is feeling very bad. So what is your course of action when some of your friends are saying that they did not get very good marks? What exactly you do? You don't discourage them. You encourage them, better luck next time, or you actually say them to try in a different way so that they are going to gain more marks in the near examination, such as try to wake up early in the morning and have a lot of examinations and do a lot of practice where exactly you are weak in the areas. This wherever your time is losing with the social media and as well as watching movies, you can cut it down and you can spare the time to the areas where you are actually lack of confidence and where you are losing your marks. That is the way you encourage your friend. But what exactly you should not say? Let's see here. Hide the books of Ramesh. Now what is this? This is definitely a negative information or a negative suggestion. You hide Ramesh, hide the books of Ramesh, kill Ramesh, kidnap Ramesh. You cannot say in that format. Please do remember, you cannot give any negative suggestion as your answer if this is not a proper course of action. What the next condition is? What should be proportionate. What do you mean by proportionate? A balance. Whatever your answer, it should be balancing your statement. So the course of action cannot be high or low when it compared to your given statement. It should be a balanced one or equal one. So let's observe a small question over here. Statement: there are many mosquitoes in this room. Now when mosquitoes are there in your room and many mosquitoes are there in your room, what is the solution you are actually, what is a proper course of action, immediate course of action? Yes, obviously you ask them to take Odomos, or you can just say them jet, or you can go with the all out, you can go with whatever solution. The bat, you can just use it to kill all the mosquitoes, or you can use some coils. Yes, you have plenty of options to kill the mosquitoes. You'll go with one of the given options, or you can also ask them to go with the mat of the mosquitoes. Yes, this is the way we actually give them a proper solution. Correct? What is the solution you should not consider in the options? Let's observe. Use AK-47 gun to kill the mosquitoes. Now, is it really balancing? In order to kill your mosquitoes, whether you are going to use AK-47, this kind of answers are never going to be accepted as your course of action. The next one says, should not be based on any conditions, and this is also very important in the critical reasoning. Your answers or your course of action, your solution cannot be based on any condition. It should be a conditionless answer, then only you are going to be calling as what? A proper course of action. You cannot build some barricade, or you cannot create something in between your statement and as well as course of action. You cannot bring up some hurdle in between your statement and as well as your course of action. There should not be any conditions apply. No, it should be a clear information, a clear message, so that you can come up with the proper answers. So what is it? Let us observe here a small statement. Again, I'm going back with the old one. I'm trying to teach you the same condition again and again so that you can understand it better without causing any problem, because we have already dealt with this statement. So you do not have any worries, you do not have any misunderstanding. Proper course of action: I'm suffering from severe headache. Or course of action, take antacid. You're suggesting him take some medication. Maybe if your doctor permits, again you are making a condition over here. You are not giving any clarity. When you are saying any course of action, it means you should have that clarity, and you should also give that clarity to the person who is going to consider that as a proper course of action. You cannot just create a dilemma. Initially you are saying take antacid. As I told you, the course of action is going to deceive you. If you read the single statement, you are supposed to finish the entire information, then only you need to decide whether this is a appropriate answer or not. Now initially it appears to be a very good answer, taking antacid, but the condition if clause is occurring, if is an indefinite keyword, correct? When indefinite keyword is occurring, obviously you are creating a hurdle, you are creating a barricade, because your answer is proper. If your doctor permits, if my doctor permits, why would I ask you? When I am asking you for a better solution, you have to give me that confidence, take that so and so tablet, but I don't know whether you live or die. No, you cannot just say in that format, correct? That is why this is not going to be a proper course of action. If you are using any conditions, then it is never going to be a course of action. I hope you understood.